Eala cracks WTA top 40, sets sights on elite circuit. Manila, Philippine tennis ace Alexandra Eala has taken another major leap on the global stage after breaking into the top 40 of the Women's Tennis Association, WTA, singles rankings, a career-first milestone that underscores her rapid rise on the women's tour. The 20-year-old Southeast Asian Games gold medalist entered the elite bracket following the latest WTA rankings released early Monday, just as she opened her campaign in the Qatar Open in Doha. Eala's climb into the top 40 came after a string of strong performances in recent tournaments, marking a significant jump from her previous position outside the top 45. Her latest ranking was reflected while she was already in action, contesting her opening round match of the WTA 1000 event against Czech qualifier Tereza Valentova late Monday night. The breakthrough was fueled by an impressive run at the Abu Dhabi Open, where Eala reached the singles quarterfinals and pushed deeper in doubles play, advancing to the semifinals. Her doubles campaign also paid dividends in the rankings, as she surged into the world's top 100 in the doubles standings at number 99. Eala's entry into the top 40 not only cements her status as one of the fastest rising players on the women's circuit but also strengthens her pathway to consistent main draw entries in top-tier tournaments, where she is expected to face higher-ranked opponents more regularly. The milestone marks another historic step for Philippine tennis, with Eala continuing to blaze a trail on the international stage. Eala emerges, from dreamer to top 40 trailblazer. There are moments in sport that defy expectations, flashes of brilliance so extraordinary they rewrite history. When Alexandra Eala cracked the WTA top 40, it wasn't just another climb up the rankings. It was a seismic shift in global tennis, a bold announcement that a new generation of champions has arrived, and that one of its most captivating voices hails from a nation not traditionally known for tennis royalty. At just 20 years old, the Filipina sensation has risen through the ranks with a blend of power, poise, and an unquenchable hunger for greatness. Her story isn't one of overnight success, it is the slow burn of resilience forged on courts across continents and against opponents whose experience dwarfs her own. A journey of momentum. Eala's journey could easily be mistaken for a screenplay, an underdog narrative stitched with improbable victories and firsts. As a teenager, she burst into the tennis consciousness with standout performances at junior Grand Slams and steady rises through ITF tours. But global attention truly turned toward her during the 2025 Miami Open, where she blazed her way to the semifinals, toppling multiple former world top 10 players and earning a historic moment for Filipino sport. That run didn't just define her season, it defined a new trajectory. From being outside the top 140 to climbing steadily into the top 100 and then the top 50, every step carried with it the hopes of a nation. It showed the world that Filipino talent, long overlooked in the tennis world, could fight toe-to-toe with the sport's established names. The ascent to number 40, a new milestone. The latest leap, into the elite top 40, came following her riveting campaign at the 2026 WTA 500 Abu Dhabi Open, where she reached the quarterfinals in singles and the semifinals in doubles. This explosive performance garnered critical ranking points and pushed her to a new career high of number 40 on the WTA rankings. For context, moving into the top 40 isn't simply a number. It marks entry into the world's most competitive tier, players who consistently contend at WTA 1000 events, Grand Slams, and feature regularly on center courts. It's a threshold that separates challengers from elite contenders. And for Eala, it signals that she's not here to participate, she's here to contend. The rise in detail, how it happened. Eala's climb owes much to a string of impactful performances. ASB Classic, Auckland. A key semifinal appearance set the tone early in the season and helped propel her up the rankings. Australian Open, her main draw debut in a Grand Slam demonstrated that she could compete on the biggest stages against the toughest opponents. Philippine Women's Open, a quarterfinal in front of her home crowd, a historic first, brought her talents roaring into prominence in her home country. Abu Dhabi Open, the standout result that accelerated her rise into the top 40, with wins that showed both grit and flair. Each of these milestones built upon the last, weaving a tapestry of progress that's both organic and unmistakable, a player ascending not through luck, but through relentless improvement and grit. Into the elite circuit. Cracking the top 40 opens doors, not just in rankings, but in opportunity and perception. Eala now receives direct entries into the biggest tournaments, including WTA 1000 events and Grand Slams, with the possibility to seed in draws and earn more ranking points. It's one thing to break new ground, it's another to stay there. The elite circuit demands consistency, week in and week out, against the very best. For Eala, this means navigating fields packed with former world number ones, Grand Slam champions, and relentless competitors who will test every slice, forehand, and serve. But there's reason to believe she's ready. Her game, a mix of tactical ingenuity, powerful baseline strokes, and a surprisingly calm competitive temperament, has already placed her in the conversation with players well ahead of her age and ranking. The quiet power of representation. Beyond the numbers and trophies, Eala's rise carries a deeper cultural significance. In the Philippines, and across Southeast Asia, tennis has often played second fiddle to basketball, boxing, and other locally dominant sports. Eala's breakthrough into the top 40 has not only inspired a generation of young athletes but also spotlighted Southeast Asia on the global tennis map in a way few have done before. She's become more than a player, she's a symbol of possibility. Children watching her matches see someone who looks like them competing on the biggest tours, breaking barriers that once seemed distant or impossible. Challenges and opportunities ahead. The road ahead is challenging. As Eala prepares for headline tournaments like the Qatar Open, Dubai Tennis Championships, Indian Wells, and of course, the Grand Slams, she'll face opponents with years, sometimes decades, more experience. There will be tough losses, long flights, and unpredictable draws. Yet it's precisely these challenges that will forge her next chapters. With each match against the sport's elite, she gathers lessons about strategy, resilience, and belief. Her ability to absorb those lessons and grow will be the true testament to her future success. A new era, Eala and the next generation. If there's one narrative thread that defines tennis today, it's the emergence of young stars reshaping the landscape. Players like Eala bring fresh energy, audacious shot-making, and a fearless attitude that disrupts.